Every dawn carries within it a subtle promise. The world has not yet fully awakened, and the air is still touched by silence. In those first quiet moments of the day, life opens before us like a fresh canvas, waiting for the colors we will place upon it. Each thought, each intention, each breath we choose in the morning is like a seed dropped into the soil of our mind. Over the course of the day, these seeds sprout into emotions, words, and actions that ripple outward, shaping the quality of our inner world and the way we touch the lives of others. If we are not mindful, it is easy to let the morning slip by in a rush, checking our phones, worrying about unfinished tasks, or letting old anxieties rise up again. When that happens, the seeds we plant are often seeds of stress, distraction, or restlessness, and they continue to bear fruit long after the morning has passed. But the Buddha's teaching reminds us, peace is not something we must chase from the outside. Peace is already a possibility, always present, waiting to be cultivated from within. And the morning is the most fertile ground for this practice. That is why in today's reflection, on Buddha's wisdom journey, we will gently explore 5 seeds of peace to plant every morning. These seeds are not rigid rules or rituals to follow. Instead, they are simple yet profound reminders, ways of bringing our heart back to what truly matters, ways of aligning our mind with clarity and compassion before the day unfolds. Each seed is an invitation, a quiet whisper encouraging us to live more awake, more tenderly, and more freely. Imagine beginning your day not with the weight of yesterday's burdens, but with the freshness of a clear mind. Imagine stepping into your daily responsibilities not from agitation or fear, but from a center of stillness and trust. Just as a gardener knows that the harvest depends on the quality of the seeds, we too can choose what we sow into the soil of consciousness each morning. The seeds of gratitude, presence, compassion, and understanding are small, but they have the power to transform the entire landscape of our lives. Here we are not trying to escape the challenges of life. Suffering, change, and uncertainty are part of the human journey. But with the right seeds planted at dawn, we can carry an inner refuge with us wherever we go. Even when the winds of the day blow strongly, our roots can remain steady, nourished by the peace we cultivated at sunrise. As you listen, I invite you not only to hear these reflections, but to try them in your own mornings. Treat them as living practices, not abstract ideas. Feel how your breath becomes gentler when you pause for a moment of mindfulness. Notice how your heart softens when you silently water the seed of compassion before speaking to a loved one. Observe how your day unfolds differently when you set an intention for peace, rather than being pulled into distraction. This journey we take together on Buddha's wisdom journey is not about adding more to your life, but about rediscovering the natural calm and clarity already within you. Every morning is a chance to begin again, to start fresh, and to plant seeds that will blossom into a life of greater wisdom and serenity. So let us walk slowly into the garden of the morning, with open palms and an attentive heart. Together, let us discover these 5 seeds of peace, simple, timeless, and powerful. For in cultivating them daily, we are not only transforming our mornings, but also nourishing the deeper journey of awakening that carries us through the whole of our lives. Have you ever woken up in the morning only to find your mind already in chaos, filled with anxiety, pressure, or worries even before the day has begun? There are mornings when the body wakes up, but the heart feels heavy, pulled into the weight of yesterday or the uncertainty of tomorrow. Thoughts come rushing in, unfinished work, endless responsibilities, difficult meetings ahead, or perhaps just a vague unease you can't quite put into words. Even before you've had your first breath of fresh morning air, it feels as if the whole world is pressing down on your shoulders. If you've experienced this, you already know how important mornings are. The way we begin our day shapes everything that follows. Our mood, our energy, and even the way we respond to life itself. There's an old saying, if you win the morning, you win the day. But how do we truly win the morning? How do we step into a new day with calmness, clarity, and lightness in our hearts, instead of being swept away by stress from the very first moment? Today, we're going to explore a gentle practice, planting 5 seeds of peace every morning. 5 simple mindful practices that can transform the way you step into each day. Just like planting seeds in the soil, these practices grow quietly, steadily, and eventually bear fruit. When you plant seeds of mindfulness, gratitude, love, and inner stillness in your heart at the very start of the day, your whole day becomes a garden of calm, no matter how noisy or chaotic the world outside may be. The beautiful part is, you don't need hours to do this. Even a few minutes each morning can make a difference. These seeds are not complicated rituals or rigid routines. They're small acts of awareness, simple yet powerful, that anyone can do. It might be as simple as pausing to take a mindful breath, whispering a word of gratitude, or smiling softly at yourself before stepping into the day. Imagine this. Instead of grabbing your phone the moment you wake up, scrolling through dozens of notifications, news headlines, and messages, you place your hand gently over your heart. You feel its steady rhythm. You take one slow breath. You remind yourself, I have been given another day, a new chance to love, to learn, to walk this journey of life. Just that tiny shift changes everything. Your mind begins to settle. Your heart softens. The energy of your morning turns from restless to peaceful. These 5 seeds of peace are more than just techniques. They are a way of returning home to yourself. A way to remind your soul that calmness and joy are not found outside, but within. When you nurture these seeds each morning, they grow into resilience, compassion, and clarity throughout your day. Life may still bring challenges, but your response will come from a place of balance instead of restlessness. Over the course of this journey, we'll move slowly and intentionally, taking time to feel each seed deeply, because this isn't about rushing into another self-help routine. It's about learning to care for your inner world, to water your spirit, and to enter each day with a heart that is both grounded and open. So, if you're ready, let's step into this morning with new awareness. Let's plant these 5 seeds of peace together. Let them take root in your heart. Let them blossom into stillness, strength, and gentle joy that carry you through the day. Seeds of peace are not something distant or mysterious. They are not lofty spiritual ideals reserved for monks or saints. They are simply the small habits, the gentle thoughts, the quiet choices we plant in our minds the moment we wake up. Many people believe that to find peace, they must travel far away, leave behind daily life, or wait for some profound spiritual experience. But the truth is simpler. Peace has always been right here, waiting within us. It begins with the tiny decisions we make at the very start of the day. Think of your mind as a garden. Every thought, every feeling, every action is a seed. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, comparison, or anger, the garden quickly fills with weeds. But if you plant seeds of peace, gratitude, compassion, and awareness, the same garden blossoms into a sanctuary. The beauty of life is this: we get to choose what we plant. Seeds of peace remind us that whatever we nurture in the morning will shape the day ahead. It's like the timeless wisdom. You reap what you sow. If you plant a seed of gratitude in the morning, Even something as simple as whispering to yourself, "Thank you for another day of life." Then gratitude will grow throughout the day. You will notice more reasons to appreciate. If you begin with a soft smile to yourself, you'll find your heart lighter, and that lightness will naturally extend to the people around you. Some may wonder, but aren't these seeds too small? Can such simple acts really change the way I live my day? The answer is yes. Great transformations always begin with the smallest of steps. A seed at first seems insignificant, a tiny dot buried in the soil. Yet with care, it sprouts, grows roots, and one day becomes a tree offering shade, fruit, and life. The mind works the same way. Every peaceful seed we plant in the morning grows quietly within us. Over time, they become habits. Habits turn into a way of being. And eventually, peace becomes who we are. Not something we chase, but something we embody. But we must be mindful of what seeds we choose. Reaching for your phone the instant you wake up is also planting a seed of distraction, of restlessness. By starting the day with a flood of news, messages, and comparisons, you unknowingly plant anxiety in your heart, and those seeds will grow. On the other hand, if you pause, even for a brief moment, to breathe deeply, to feel the rhythm of your heartbeat, or to whisper a simple intention of kindness, you've planted peace. That seed, though small, will travel with you all day, unfolding into calmness in your words, steadiness in your choices, and gentleness in your interactions. In truth, seeds of peace are a practice of awareness. They remind us that each morning is a new beginning, a fresh page in the book of our lives. We can let the page be scribbled over with noise and stress, or we can write something meaningful on it with clarity and love. The choice is ours, every single day. And here's the beauty. When you plant a seed of peace for yourself, you're not just nurturing your own soul. You are also planting peace in the world. A peaceful heart radiates. Your calm presence can ease someone else's tension. Your kind smile can soften another person's heavy day. Your gentle words can soothe a restless mind. In this way, planting seeds of peace is both a gift to yourself and a gift to others. So let us begin simply. The next time you wake up, don't rush. Don't let the noise of the outside world claim your mind first. Instead, choose one seed. Maybe it's a slow, mindful breath. Maybe it's a whisper of gratitude. Maybe it's a quiet intention for the day ahead. Plant it. Feel it. Let it root itself in your heart. With time, you'll see your inner garden flourish, filled with calmness and strength. And as peace grows within you, it will naturally flow outward, touching every step you take and every person you meet. Seed 1. Mindful breathing. The very first and most powerful seed of peace we can plant in the morning is something so simple, so close to us, that we often overlook it. The breath. Breathing is always there, moment after moment, keeping us alive. Yet most of the time, we take it for granted. We only notice it when we're stressed, exhausted, or struggling. But in mindfulness practice, the breath is more than just a biological function. It is a bridge, a doorway back to the present moment. At the start of the day, before the rush of responsibilities pulls you away, pause and take just 3 to 5 mindful breaths. Sit up gently, place your feet on the ground, close your eyes if you like, and begin. As you breathe in, silently remind yourself, I am breathing in, I am alive. Feel the cool air filling your lungs, awakening every cell in your body. As you breathe out, say to yourself, I am breathing out. I release all tension. With each out-breath, imagine letting go of the weight you don't need to carry into this new day. Some people believe that peace requires hours of meditation or a retreat to a quiet monastery. But mindful breathing is available anywhere, to anyone, at any time. It doesn't require special conditions. All it asks is your awareness. The moment you connect with your breath, you are already home. When you breathe in and know that you are breathing in, you touch the miracle of being alive. In that instant, the mind is not wandering into yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. You are simply here, fully present. Just 3 mindful breaths can interrupt the cycle of racing thoughts and bring you back to life as it truly is. When you breathe out and let go, you release more than just air. You release tightness in your body, heaviness in your heart, and clutter in your mind. Notice your shoulders softening, your face relaxing, your chest opening. With each breath out, you give yourself permission to be light again, to begin fresh. This practice carries a deeper truth. As long as you are breathing, you are alive, and life itself is the greatest gift. Every mindful breath is a reminder that you still have time. Time to love, to learn, to grow, to live meaningfully. Breathing in becomes an act of gratitude. Breathing out becomes an act of letting go. Now imagine starting your morning this way. Instead of reaching for your phone, scrolling through notifications, news, and endless noise, you sit quietly with your breath. You don't run after the world. You return to yourself. Just a few breaths, but your entire inner world begins to shift. Instead of rushing into the day with anxiety, you begin it with calm. Instead of carrying yesterday's weight, you start light, open, and clear. And here's the beauty. Mindful breathing doesn't only belong to the morning. Once you learn this practice, the breath becomes your companion throughout the day. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, angry, or lost, you can return to it. The breath is like an anchor dropped into the river of life. No matter how fast the current flows, it holds you steady, reminding you of your own stillness. This is why mindful breathing is the very first seed of peace. It doesn't require words, rituals, or effort, just a gentle return to what has always been there. With 3 to 5 deep, mindful breaths, you plant calmness into the soil of your heart. And from that soil, an entire day of clarity, balance, and positive energy can grow. Seed 2. The morning intention. Every new day is like an unwritten page. Before the noise of the world enters, we hold in our hands a precious moment of choice. The second seed of peace is a morning intention. It is simple, yet it carries incredible strength. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone or getting lost in thoughts, pause for just a moment. Place your hand on your heart if you like. Take a breath and silently whisper to yourself, "Today, I choose peace." Or, "I will walk with compassion." Or even, "May my thoughts, words, and actions bring kindness to the world." This short affirmation may seem small, almost too simple to matter. But like a candle in a dark room, its light spreads. One sentence in the morning can redirect the entire current of your day. Instead of letting your mind be tossed around by circumstances, you give it an anchor, a compass pointing toward peace. Why does this work? Because the mind is highly impressionable at the start of the day. In the early morning, our consciousness is soft, open, and receptive, like soil after the rain. Whatever seed you plant, then has a greater chance of taking root. A morning intention is not just a wish. It becomes a reminder, a guiding thread woven into every hour that follows. Imagine, you face traffic, deadlines, misunderstandings, or frustrations. Without intention, the mind reacts in automatic patterns: anger, stress, or worry. But when you begin the day with a clear vow like, "Today I choose peace," it echoes back to you in those moments. It whispers, "Remember your seed, remember your choice." And suddenly, instead of reacting, you can breathe, smile, and respond differently. Think of it as programming your inner compass. Just as a traveler sets a destination before beginning the journey, we too set the direction of our mind before stepping into the day. The words themselves are not magic. The magic lies in your sincerity. If the sentence is born from the heart, it becomes like a lantern you carry everywhere. This practice is also an act of self-compassion. Often we begin the day criticizing ourselves, worrying about tasks, or replaying yesterday's mistakes. But a morning intention is like speaking gently to your own soul. It says, "You deserve peace. You deserve compassion. You are allowed to live this day differently." Over time, these daily affirmations accumulate. A single day of choosing peace may seem small, but a month of it reshapes your emotional landscape. A year of it can transform your character, and a lifetime of such seeds becomes a garden of wisdom and serenity. So tomorrow morning, try it. Before your mind gets busy, whisper your intention. Don't force it. Let it be simple, clear, and sincere. Trust that this seed, though invisible, will blossom throughout the day. Because peace is not something we stumble upon. It is something we choose again and again, starting with the very first thought when we wake. Seed 3. Gratitude. There is a simple yet powerful doorway into peace, and that doorway is called gratitude. Each morning, as soon as you wake up, before the flood of thoughts about what needs to be done, try planting a small seed in the soil of your heart. Acknowledge 3 things you are grateful for. It can begin with the simplest of blessings. Grateful for the breath still moving in and out, reminding you that you are alive. Grateful for family, loved ones, or simply the presence of someone who has touched your life. Grateful for a new opportunity, this day that has never existed before, offering lessons, love, and growth. At first, this practice may feel small, even ordinary, but the power of gratitude is extraordinary. It doesn't necessarily change your circumstances right away, but it transforms the way you see them. Through grateful eyes, the ordinary becomes a gift. A cup of tea, a ray of morning sunlight, the sound of a bird outside your window. Even challenges can appear as teachers, moments that strengthen your inner resilience. Why practice gratitude in the morning? Because the mind is like a blank page when you first wake up. If you write worry onto that page, the day easily becomes filled with tension. But if you begin with gratitude, you are sketching bright colors onto that page, and those colors will spread throughout the rest of your day. This practice also softens the tendency to compare or focus on what's missing. Instead of chasing what you don't have, you learn to notice what is already present, already precious. Gratitude is like wiping dust from a mirror. It helps you see how rich and abundant your life already is. And it doesn't have to be grand. Just 3 small things each morning, consistently, will change the way your heart moves through life. Over time, your list will naturally grow longer. The more your heart is trained to look for blessings, the less it gets trapped in complaints, frustrations, or disappointments. Starting your day with gratitude is like stepping onto solid ground. You will smile more easily, forgive more quickly, and extend kindness more freely. The energy of gratitude is contagious. It not only brings peace to you, but radiates to everyone you encounter. So tomorrow morning, try this. Before reaching for your phone or thinking about work, Simply pause and say to yourself, I am grateful for my breath. I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful for this chance to live another day. Just that small practice is enough to plant a precious seed of peace, one that can bloom into joy throughout the day. Seed 4. The smile. There is a language that goes beyond borders, cultures, and barriers. The language of a smile. A smile may seem small, almost effortless, yet within it lies the power to heal, to soften, and to plant the seeds of happiness not only in ourselves, but also in those around us. In the morning, when we first wake up, our minds often rush toward unfinished tasks, lingering worries, or even silent fears about the future. This mental weight can easily shape the mood of the whole day. But if you pause for just a moment, take a deep breath, and smile gently, something miraculous happens. A smile is like a flower blooming in the garden of the heart. It softens the rough edges of our emotions and melts away the hardness that burdens the soul. This isn't a forced smile that hides sadness, but a smile of acceptance, of gratitude, of simply realizing, I am alive, I can still love, I can still experience this precious life. A smile is also a seed of positive energy. When you smile, your body naturally releases hormones that ease stress and nurture inner calm. Modern science confirms what wise teachers have known for centuries. A smile doesn't just shift your mood, it transforms the way you move through life. Think about it. If a day begins with a frown, where will it lead? We're more likely to feel irritated, impatient, and unconsciously pass that heaviness to others. But a day that begins with a smile, even a small one, carries a light that brightens every step. A smile can soften a conversation, make a stranger feel welcomed, and bring ease to moments of difficulty. A smile doesn't need a reason. It is the reason itself. The simple fact that you are alive, breathing, and able to witness the morning sun is already enough. Many wait for joy before they allow themselves to smile. But those who practice mindfulness understand the reverse. They smile to give birth to joy. A smile is not an outcome. It is a cause, a doorway into happiness. Try this simple practice. Each morning, stand in front of the mirror and smile at yourself. Not a forced grin, but a gentle smile, like a blessing. May you have a peaceful day. Smiling at yourself is the first step towards smiling at life, at others, at the world. And soon you'll notice, when you smile, life smiles back. The ripple of a smile is vast. Your single smile may be the warmth someone needs on a cold day, the spark of hope for someone who feels lost, or the calm that softens a strained relationship. With each smile, you plant seeds of kindness into the soil of existence, seeds that will blossom into peace and joy for yourself and for many others. Never forget, sometimes your smile may be the only reason someone finds hope today. So why not let this simple seed grow every morning, bringing ease to your heart and light to the world? Seed 5. Awareness of impermanence. There is one truth that many of us try to avoid, yet it is the very doorway to living fully: impermanence. Impermanence means nothing lasts forever. People, emotions, joys, and sorrows all change with time. Whether we want it or not, life keeps flowing like a river, seasons keep shifting, and nothing ever stays the same. Each morning, you can gently remind yourself, today is a gift. No one can promise that tomorrow will come. This reminder is not meant to bring fear or sadness, but to help you cherish this very moment. the only moment you truly have. When we become aware of impermanence, anger loses its grip. We realize that the things causing us pain will eventually pass. The people who hurt us will change, and even we ourselves will not remain as we are now. Holding on to resentment only locks us in the prison of the past. But when we remember that everything is temporary, we learn how to let go, and our hearts become lighter. Impermanence also teaches us to love more deeply. We know our parents will not always be here. Our loved ones are not eternal. Even our own breath is fragile like morning dew. That is why every hug, every kind word, every shared moment becomes sacred. Instead of waiting for the right time to express love, we can live as though each chance might be the last, loving fully without holding back. At the same time, impermanence frees us from clinging to pain. A failure, a loss, a heartbreak. They are not forever. Time transforms them, and through those cracks, we grow. Like a flower that blossoms and then fades. Like leaves that turn from green to gold. Life is made of cycles, and within every ending lies the seed of a new beginning. The greatest danger is postponing life. If we keep saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," "I'll spend time with my family later," or "One day I'll truly find peace," then we miss the only moment that's real, today. Awareness of impermanence does not lead to despair. On the contrary, it awakens us. It helps us live with less anger, less selfishness, and more compassion. When we truly see how fragile life is, we smile more, forgive faster, and love deeper. So, as you begin your morning, plant this seed, awareness of impermanence. Let it remind you that each day is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to live, to love, to forgive, and to return home to yourself. When we live in the light of impermanence, every breath becomes a gift, every step a miracle, and life itself feels complete. Even in its fleetingness, if each morning we patiently plant these 5 seeds: mindful breathing, a morning intention, gratitude, a gentle smile, and the awareness of impermanence, then every day will no longer be just a string of passing hours, but a fertile ground where peace and happiness can truly blossom. Mindfulness is the soil that keeps us grounded, helping us stay present instead of drifting into worries or past regrets. A morning intention is like a guiding lantern, setting the direction for our heart so it doesn't lose its way in the chaos of the day. Gratitude is the fresh water that softens the heart, keeping it open and alive. A gentle smile, though simple, is like sunlight breaking through, warming not only our own spirit, but also touching those around us. And finally, the awareness of impermanence is like a quiet breeze, reminding us not to cling too tightly, but to cherish every fleeting moment as a precious gift. When we nurture these seeds daily, they begin to take root and grow within us. Slowly, anger loses its grip, restlessness fades, and the heart becomes lighter, clearer, and more at ease. We start to notice the hidden beauty in an ordinary day, the depth in a simple conversation, and the miracle in just a single breath. Life will always bring challenges, but when these seeds live within us, we carry a secret garden of peace wherever we go. No matter how noisy or uncertain the outside world may be, this garden offers shade, fragrance, and comfort. That is true happiness, not distant or abstract, but present, available, and alive in every single day. When you first hear this, it might sound almost too simple. Just a mindful breath, a short morning intention, a moment of gratitude, a gentle smile. or remembering that everything is impermanent. Yet within these little seeds lies the power to transform not only your day, but also the way you walk through life. So why not begin tomorrow? You don't need to plant all 5 seeds at once. Simply choose one that speaks to your heart right now. Maybe it's the seed of mindful breathing, taking 3 slow breaths before you even step out of bed. Maybe it's a short morning intention, whispering a quiet reminder to yourself of how you wish to live today. Or maybe it's as simple as smiling at your own reflection, even before the day has begun. What's beautiful is that once you plant even one seed, you'll begin to notice a shift inside. Stress softens, worry feels lighter. There's a sense of clarity, trust, and ease. And from that one seed, the others naturally begin to grow. Over time, you may look back and realize you're standing in the middle of a garden, your own inner garden of peace. But the practice doesn't stop with you. Every seed you plant also touches the lives around you. A genuine smile can soften the heart of someone who's hurting. A moment of gratitude can inspire a friend. Your calm presence can become an anchor for your loved ones when their world feels heavy. When you plant these seeds, you are planting them for the world as well. And if you find this practice meaningful, don't keep it just for yourself. Pass it on. Share this video with someone you love, or with anyone who may be searching for a little light in the middle of their day. You never know. Your small act of sharing could become the seed of peace for another soul. Life is fragile and fleeting. Each day we stand at a crossroads. We can either let our minds be pulled into worry and distraction, or we can consciously plant seeds of peace. The choice you make will shape not just your day, but your entire journey. So begin tomorrow. Just one seed is enough. And then, watch carefully. You may notice your heart becoming softer, your mind clearer, and your days filled with a quiet kind of meaning you didn't know was possible. Perhaps there is no message simpler, yet no gift more profound than this. Each morning, plant a seed of peace. In time, you will harvest a garden of happiness. Imagine that every day of your life is like a small piece of land. When you wake up in the morning, you stand before a fresh field, untouched by worries, unshaken by the storms of the world, open and waiting for you. And in that quiet moment, you get to choose. What kind of seeds will you plant today? Some people plant seeds of hurry, anger, and restlessness. Others plant seeds of gratitude, of presence, of calm breathing and gentle smiles. Just one seed makes a difference. A mindful breath softens the waves of an unsettled mind. A reminder of impermanence helps you loosen your grip on what doesn't matter. A simple smile can shift the entire energy of your day. Small as they seem, these acts accumulate, slowly blossoming into a serene garden where your heart can rest. And the beauty of this inner garden is that it does not bloom for you alone. Peace is contagious. When your heart is calm, your presence brings calm to others, your loved ones, your friends, even strangers you pass by. A peaceful person plants peace everywhere they go. This is how the world truly changes. Not through grand gestures far away, but through tiny seeds planted each morning, nourished by awareness and kindness. Think about it. If today you plant one seed of peace, and tomorrow another, and then every day for a month, a year, a decade, what will your life look like? It will be a flourishing garden, full of shade and fragrance, filled with blossoms that never fade. And a garden is never for one person alone. Anyone who steps into it will feel its healing, its gentleness, its quiet beauty. So my final reminder for you is this: don't wait for something big before you begin. peace is not distant. It's not complicated. It's right here, in the very first breath of your morning, in the smile you give yourself in the mirror, in the awareness that this new day is already a gift. And if this reflection has touched your heart, I invite you to join in nurturing these seeds together. Share something meaningful in the comments below. A thought of gratitude, a seed you want to plant, or even just the words, I choose peace. You never know. Your words may become the seed that blossoms in someone else's life. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Together, we can continue this journey, watering peace, planting joy, and cultivating a shared garden where we can all find refuge. Remember, peace is not a destination. Peace is the path itself. And with each sunrise, you are offered a chance to plant again. Each morning, plant a seed of peace. In time, you will harvest a garden of happiness.